How's it going, YouTube? I wanted to do a video today marketing some of the stuff that I make. So I have been making brass knuckles for probably around a year now. Maybe not quite a year. But I started trying to put together the tools to actually make things out of brass. And I started off with the intention of making brass knuckles and carving them. But I had another job at the time, and it was kind of a weekend hobby, you know, every now and then type of thing. And I made a few sets of brass knuckles, and they did not turn out the way that I wanted them to. The carving did not come as easily as I thought it would, using the tools that I had. And so I continue to make brass knuckles, but I made more simplistic versions of brass knuckles. And while I don't have any of those simplistic versions, they're similar to things like these brass knuckles. And this is a set that I made. It's got a real Liberty Dom in it, Liberty or Death. And they're nice, and I've sold quite a bit of these. They're very clean looking. And they're cool to carry in your pocket. I really like these 2-finger knuckles. This one's my 2 cents, like I'll give you my 2 cents worth. It's got 2 pennies on it. And that polished look is what I made for a while. And I would do custom stamping. And I've got a video on here showing how I made those brass knuckles, from design, you know, drilling out the holes, ovaling the holes, you know, the whole deal, on how to make a pretty, you know, solid set of brass knuckles using brass stock. But that was never really what I wanted to do. I've always wanted to carve brass knuckles. I've been a tattoo artist for 15 years or so. I really like to draw, and I consider myself to be a pretty artistic person. And so about 2 months ago, I was laid off from a job. I was designing pools. And instead of going to look for, you know, different types of work, and I have, with some dead ends, I decided to put all my daily efforts into making brass knuckles. And I started off just making a lot of the simplistic type 4-finger, 2-finger knuckles, some single finger knuckles that I normally made, and they sell fairly decently, but it still wasn't really what I wanted to do. And so I've kind of transitioned into making more stuff that I wanted. This is a set of 4-finger knuckles, complete brass stock. I carved all of that. And then I hand stamp the back. Now this is much more in line with the things that I like to do. And I feel like over the last 2 months, my carving has evolved quite a bit. And this is definitely more in, you know, this is definitely the type of products that I want to be producing. And I feel, and more recently this week, I came up with this new design, and it's all carved by hand. Everything you see is, I've made it from brass stock. And carved by hand, stamped by hand. And these, I mean, I'm very, very happy with the most recent carvings and stuff that I've done. And I've had people reach out to me wanting me to do some videos on the actual carving aspect of it, and I will. I just got to be able to set up the camera in a way that it facilitates me doing that. And I try to set up an Etsy page as well, but Etsy removed all my items and banned my page. Apparently, impact items like brass knuckles are illegal on there, which I didn't know. But basically, it took a while for me to kind of work through the process of finding out which bits for the Dremel works best, which techniques work best in order to achieve desired results. And I try to be kind of innovative. My knuckles design has changed quite a bit over these last few months. I have adapted to different types of designs, and to be honest, I feel that this four-finger design, the way it fits your fingers in palm, is outstanding. These are very, very comfortable in your hand. They're 1/2-inch brass, so I mean, you're talking, 13 ounces. It's significant to swing. And I also have been I adopted carving hammers. There's another dude that was carving brass hammers, and brass is, there's not a lot of stuff made out of brass that you can carve, but the hammers is a pretty good idea. He started carving some hammers, and I thought I would give that a shot. So my very first hammer is this 2.5 pound hammer that I picked up from Harbor Freight and carved that. That was my first attempt at a skull like this, and I think it turned out pretty good. And then my second attempt at a hammer, this is another 2.5 pound hammer. And then my most recent hammer is one that I'm most proud of, is this 4.5 pound hammer. This is a big boy. And I think the carving on this turned out pretty amazing. And then I just paracorded the handles with that little hitch nut, pocket coins, pocket piece. But yeah, I just wanted to talk through some of the pieces that I've done and that I have available. And if you're interested in anything, I pretty much sell most of the stuff off of Instagram, and my page is Knuckles by Norris. So if you just look up Knuckles by Norris, you'll be able to find my page. And if you can, give me a follow. And if you're interested in anything, shoot me a DM on Instagram, and we'll see if you can get it. See if we can hook you up. I got prices on most of the pages, most of the items on the page. But knuckles like these are $225. Also $225. Most of the ones like this will go for about that same price. I've got these listed for $300, and it's mainly based on carving time that I've got into them. These are $250. I've got this listed for $175, $140. I've got this listed for 180, but I think I'm going to sell this one in the 2 cents for 160. Big boy hammer I've got for 600, and the first hammer I've got listed for 3, and this one's listed for I think it's 425, and I cover all the shipping within the United States. So yeah, guys, if you're interested, give me a follow and shoot me a DM, and we'll see if we can hook you up. Appreciate you watching.